Now that we've learned how to change some of the settings inside of our sample project, we're going to come into our demo project and we're going to adjust some of those settings inside of our demo project. So first of all, we're going to apply what we've learned about to our cooking website, and not just the sample website that we've been working with. We're going to adjust the duration of our animations, we're going to adjust the delay of our animations, and then we're going to adjust the iteration count of some of our animations as well. And then we'll come back in and wrap up what we learned. So going into our code, I'm going to go ahead and first of all come into my index.html file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with these columns that we've been working with in the past. And you can see that we have a zoom in animation for all of those. So I'm going to come in just so I can talk to each one of these. And I'm going to add on a section class. And I'm going to say section 1 for the first one, section 2 for the second one, section 3 for the third one. Let's go ahead and adjust that and make sure that you have a space there. And then the last one is going to be section 4. And so those are our four sections. Now let's come into our interaction.css. This one has some more CSS than our previous example did. So I'm going to come down and before the responsive code, I'm going to go ahead and just add on custom code here. And then I'm going to say .section1. Let's just build out all our classes here. Open, close curly bracket. And then I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to paste it 3 different times, and then change to section 2, change to section 3 here, and then change to section 4. On the first one, let's go ahead and add on a duration. So I'm going to say -webkits dash duration. No, animation, we have to have that first. So animation dash duration. And then colon, we'll do this as 2 seconds. We want this to happen over the 2-second time period. Now I want that to be on every single one of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that. Now there's other ways you can do that. If you just want to have one class that has kind of the duplicate properties and values, you can do that as well. First one, I don't want to have a delay because I want that one to happen right at the beginning. But I want it to stagger, so I want the first animation to happen, second animation to happen, and then the third animation to happen as well. So on the second one, instead of duration, I'm going to go ahead and say delay. So the delay is going to be 0.3. I want it to happen right after, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy that, come down into section 3, and instead of 0.3, let's go ahead and just double that. So 0.6, and then I'm going to say 0.9 for the last one. Now I'm going to save that, and let's go back into our demo project and see how that's been affected. So I'm in my demo project. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh here. You'll notice the staggering starts to happen. The actual zoom in takes 2 seconds each, and I think that's a little bit too long. So let me come back into the code and let me adjust the animations. Let me come back down here to section 1, section 2, section 3, and section 4. I'm going to go say let's do 0.8 seconds. So I'm going to copy that, come back into here, paste that for the third section here as well, and then paste that for the fourth section. Now if I preview this, hit refresh, you can see that it comes in a lot faster. I like that pace a lot better, and it does it one after the other. You can also do this in a different way. Instead of adding a delay to each of them, you can sequence and say, okay, after this animation is done, then run this animation, then run that animation. But we're going to learn about how to do that in a different section. So one more thing that I want to do is I want to apply an iteration count to one of my objects. And so let's go ahead and apply that to this section right here. So let's go back into the code, and in the code I'm going to go down to that section, and I'm going to go ahead and add on a class. So let's go mobile, because this section is about mobile ready, capital R. Go ahead and copy that. Let's go into our CSS. After section 4, we'll apply that custom class, open, close curly bracket, and then let's go ahead and say WebKit dash animation dash iteration dash count colon, and then how many times do we want that to happen. So I'm going to say 2 seconds here. Go ahead and hit save and come back into my browser, and then I'm going to hit refresh, and you can see that animation has happened twice. I may not want that for my live website, but that's just if I wanted something to happen a couple of times or some text to like emphasize a couple of times. But that's where I would go in and add my iteration count. So what did we learn about in this section? We learned about adjusting animation settings, which included durations, included delays, and included iterations. So how to go in and adjust and add on durations, add on delays, and add on iterations, how many times you want the animation to run. We also then went into our cooking website and updated our durations and our delays to have more of a staggered effect in our columns, so we can have one animate in after the other. There's still a lot more you can do to those settings. You can adjust when you want those settings to happen. You can adjust those settings or the animation to happen when something is clicked on or when an animation completes. And we're going to learn about those different options in our upcoming sections.